This is Professor L.B.Gayakawad's English Literature Web. I am Professor L.B. Gayakawad is teaching today or is discussing on the topic of John Keats and his beloved Fanny Brawne. Before going to the topic, I will tell you that this is my channel. This channel uploads the videos on English literature, Marathi literature, my own created Marathi literature, morphology, phonetics, phonology, syntax, and English grammar. It means the videos on English communication for the competitive examinations. Today, I am going to discuss on the love story of John Keats and Fanny Brawne. We are very much familiar with the love story of John Keats, who wrote a lot of in his poems about his beloved, and that was Fanny Brawne. Before going again to the topic, I will request you that all these notes I have put in the description box. Please see all the notes there in the description box while listening to this lecture. I will request you to watch, like, subscribe and share my channel also. Now we will discuss about the topic which is here. John Keats Fanny Brawne means John Keats' beloved Fanny Brawne. We have seen that John Keats was very much influenced by the girl, and that girl was Fanny Brawne. She came into his life, but she did not marry him because he became the patient of TB and he died of that TB. It was the condition that in those days there was no medicine for this TB, and that's why John Keats died and he did not marry, or he could not marry her, means he could not marry Fanny Brawne. Now we will see the total characters of this Fanny Brawne. Remember, Fanny Brawne is called as the France Fanny Brawne London, who is called the fiance, and muse to John Keats as per the scholars. When this John Keats has written his poem, in his poems he has discussed too much about his beloved Fanny Brawne. And that's why these scholars, the critics, have explained her character, and they have said that this Fanny Brawne is the fiance and muse, that is the buddies, to John Keats, and John Keats has given her too much importance in his life. As the Hampstead neighbour in 1818, this Fanny met John Keats soon in his intensive writing. The period of John Keats was of the intensive writing, means this John Keats was writing very enthusiastically. In such period, in 1818, he met or she met this John Keats, and they came together when they were living in the area of Hampstead. Remember, in those days, this Hampstead was the residence of the academics, artists, and media persons or media figures. So this was the romantic place, this was the famous place, and there this John Keats and this Fanny Brawne were living, and they met there in this area. Kids knew passionately his TB as a barrier to their love and engagement. Remember, this Fanny Brawne was engaged to John Keats, and John Keats was suffering from the tuberculosis, and it was the serious disease in those days because there was no medicine which was useful to this TB. And that's why this John Keats was very much eager, very much unhappy, because he knew that this TB would not give him a chance of marrying this Fanny Brawne. And really speaking, this happened and he died, but he could not marry this Fanny Brawne. In 1820, returning from Rome's warmer climate, remember the doctor had suggested this John Keats to go to Rome because the atmosphere in those days of this Rome was very much warmer, very much good for being recovered from the TB, and that's why this John Keats went there. And when he returned from Rome's warmer climate, his mother permitted him for marrying this Fanny Brawne. But alas, this John Keats died there in February 1821 at the age of 25. Remember, this is the really speaking very much tragic situation in the life of this John Keats. Fanny was Keats' younger sister. Remember, I tell you that the name of John Keats' sister was also Fanny, and his beloved's name was also Fanny. So this Keats' Fanny sister was the continuous friend of this Fanny Brawne, and this Fanny Brawne, after the death of John Keats, married Lindo, and this Lindo uh, gave this Fanny three children, and then at the end, this Fanny entrusted, means trusted her three children with the memories of John Keats, means she told that they were in love affair in those days and the children were also entrusted. In 1878, the public was surprised reading the published love letters of Keats to Fanny, and he was a public writer in those days, but the public blamed Browne for her unworthiness to Keats, but was blameless at the time of the second publication of the letters. Remember, here I will tell you that the people in those days were very much sympathetic with this John Keats, and this Fanny Brawne was very much unkind with him, and that's why when the love letters of John Keats with this Fanny Brawne were published, the public was very much unhappy about this John Keats and they were very much angry with this, I will say, Fanny Brawne. Means the people, the society did not like this activity of this Fanny that she didn't marry John Keats, and that's why here I will tell you that the people were against this Fanny Brawne. But when the love letters of John Keats were published secondly, means at the second time, the people knew very well and they left this Fanny from the blame. Fanny was the eldest of the three children of Samuel and Francis. Fanny was a fairy of blue eyes with blue ribbons in brown hair, determined of Keats' love, and a sense of humor to Keats from 1818 to 1821, but wasn't so beautiful. Remember this, Fanny Brawne was not so beautiful, but still this John Keats was in love with her. And really speaking, this John Keats was very much beautiful in comparison with Fanny Brawne. Fanny Brawne was little nosed to aquiline. It means she was looking like an eagle. To pale faced means her face was pale. She was very thin. Knowing the value of elegance means she was knowing the importance of the style, the importance of the, I will say, importance of the significance, means she was really very much prudent, I will say here. Fanny loved fashion in the form of hats, means she was wearing hats, feathers, she was wearing feathers, straw hats, means she was wearing the straw hats, means the hats which were made of dried stalks of grain, and she was also wearing the tartan ribbons, means the ribbons which were made of woolen clothes with lines of checks, and these things were demanded from Paris. It means that she was very much beautiful Fanny, and she liked the beautiful things in those days. She had the qualities like answering actively, means she was very active, she was giving answers very actively in activeness. Enjoying music means she was interested in music. Remaining an eager politician means she was interested in politics also. She was talking fiery, means she was talking very speedily, or I will say she was the talkative lady. And voluminous, it means she was very much a detail lady. She was talking in detail, and she was reading in detail, and she was doing the discussion in detail. Dejected by the health of Keats' brother and death of TB at 19. Remember here, I will tell you that she was very much happy because John Keats' brother died because of TB, I will say, and his age was 19 at the time, and that's why this Fanny was very much unhappy. Keats was also very much unhappy. But really speaking, this Fanny soothed this Keats. She gave comfort to this kid, and he was really out of the tension of his brother's memories. So John mentioned about Fanny's good behavior, beauty, fashion, and their love in his letter to his brother George in America on 16 December 1818. Fanny was then Keats' dream. Really speaking, this Fanny became the dream of this John Keats, and that's why he has written about her in his poems. She became his truth, she became his beauty, she became his life, and she became poetic quest like Endymion, means forever younger. Means she was forever younger for him, and he wrote about her too much in his literature, in his poetry. Fanny's mother was not satisfied with their engagement, though Keats proposed to her secretly on 18 October 1819. Remember, these Keats had proposed this Fanny Brawne secretly, but still her mother was not ready to give consent that this John Keats will marry this Fanny Brawne, and they could not marry each other because this mother of Fanny became a barrier in their marriage. Keats left medicine for poetry. Remember, this Keats was very much, I will say, studious, very much interested in writing poetry. That's why he left his medicine. He was not taking medicine for TB, and he was writing his poems. That was his quality. And then he left his poetry for his financial problems, because his total family was suffering from the TB, and that's why um, all the money was there, uh, which was there at them, was spent on the TB disease, and that's why they became poor. And in this way, here this John Keats left his poetry because of the financial poorness, and he left his I will say medicine for poetry. Means, remember, he did not left his poetry, he kept writing his poetry, but the point is that he kept his medicine. And I will say there was the problem of poorness, and that's why he left his medicine also for writing his poetry. Being unable to move with Fanny at Wentworth, Keats went to the Isle of Wight, and there she attended the military officers' parties and her mother's friends. So remember here, the last point I will tell you, that this John Keats, because of the disease of TB, was unable to move with this Fanny, and that's why when this Fanny was at Wentworth, Keats went to the Isle of Wight because of this TB disease, and then there, means, I will say, at Wentworth, this Fanny attended the parties of the military officers and the friends of Fanny's mothers. Means, Fanny's mother had many friends there at Wentworth, and that's why this Fanny attended the houses, homes, parties of these persons at Wentworth. So remember, here today we discuss about the beloved, about the romantic love story of John Keats with Fanny Brawne. I am Professor L.B.Gayakawad. Will request you to watch, like, subscribe, and share my channel. And with this, I will stop. But again, we will meet to see the second part of this love story, which happened between John Keats and Fanny Brawne. Till then, I say thank you very much. Thank you very much.